So I actually grew up playing ball. So my dad played slow pitch softball, and so kind of just grew up at the ball field. Played a little bit of t-ball and coach pitch growing up, and about 9 or 10 was when I really got into softball. Coaching, it wasn't what I ideally thought I was going to do, and that's, I think, what's so cool about it. I was interested in finance and, wanted to work on Wall Street, and that was when the market was crashing, so all those jobs disappeared. And so I was back here for my 5th year, finishing up, and just was a student assistant. I just really loved being around the game and loved the opportunity to work with players, and that's really when I was like, I can't leave the game. This is something I'm passionate about. This is something I enjoy doing, and so, I've always been told if you enjoy what you do, you don't work. And so, yes, this is my profession, but I don't feel like I work every day. I feel like I get to do what I love. When I got the call from Todd, and when he said he wanted me to be his head coach, I mean, it was just overjoyed with emotion. I mean, I got a little emotional and just was excited because the opportunity to come back here and be a part of this program, a place that has impacted me so much, and have that opportunity to have an impact on our players, was extremely exciting and a goal and a dream of mine. And I think the biggest thing for us when we talk about our players here at Georgia Tech is work ethic and accountability. And I think that any great team has both of those aspects, and we just want to continue to incorporate that. Be willing to hold each other accountable, be willing to do the extra work. Don't worry about what the coaches are seeing right now. You also have to do work extra. What are you doing when the coaches aren't watching? What are you doing when your teammates aren't watching? And that kind of plays into integrity as well. And I think those things carry into your life, when you go out into the real world. Each of their personalities are different, and that's the unique and challenging thing about coaching is understanding, okay, this player needs to be pushed this way, this player needs to be pushed this way. This one wants you to get onto them, this one they need a pat on the back. And so finding that difference. The standards, the expectations on the field are all the same, but the way we motivate those players might be different. We're going to treat everybody fair, we're going to have those same expectations, but this player A might need a little bit more of a nudge, and this one, she needs a different, maybe a little softer around the edges with that one. So, at the end of the day, though, our goal is to get the most out of them, and so it's our job to figure out what that takes for each player. But just for me, I think the easiest way to get through to our players and to anybody at this college level is just try to give them real advice, and so we try to equate everything to, if this is your job and you're giving half effort at your job, you're not going to be very successful. Yes, this is hard, but this is going to prepare you for what's next. And just really trying to be real with them about, how this correlates to the future.
She's awesome. She always pushes us to do our best every single day, has a lot of fire, and it makes us do well for Georgia Tech and her.
My favorite memory of Coach Morales was when we were playing Florida State at home, and there was some play at the plate. I can't really remember what happened. I think obstruction was called. The call didn't go our way, and Coach Morales had our backs and went to war for us and got thrown out of the game. And seeing her that fired up and just really having our backs and being there for us was just awesome to see. I just loved seeing that from our coach, knowing that she had our backs. That was seriously my favorite. I came into the huddle and was like, we need to have her backs. She had ours. Let's go win this. Just screaming. That was funny, except not in the moment.
I don't know if I have one exact disappointment. I think coaching is very humbling, and so, the times that you're a challenger it's disappointing to me is when you're not able to get through to a certain player, you're not able to maybe get her to her potential. For some reason, whatever it might be, you just can't click with that player. And so I do think that's the best part about our profession, but also the most humbling is that it's not always gonna click with every player. And so I think that's usually when I have the most disappointment. It's not, wins or losses. It's, why was I unable to get through to this player? The lives that we impact. I have great relationships with former players, and when they pick up the phone and ask you for advice, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And we're not friends all the time when they're here because we're coaching them, but having that relationship after they graduate, being a part of their lives, that to me is what I'm most proud of.